Morning, everybody. Mike Vacchi, Princetontrader here for Mr. Topstep with your Friday morning pre-market webcast. Okay, what did we see last night? Well, we saw new lows in Europe. We did 44 half. So, I mean, what does this tell me? How many times have significant highs or significant lows been made in the middle of the night? And we may have another one here. So, we punched the Bollinger Band now for 3 days in a row. I remain long. Yesterday, I just basically traded around a long position. If we're going to get the kind of volatility yesterday, going forward, then you can have a long position on because we're down here at the bottom of these Bollinger Bands. And you can trade around that position as we trade in 6, 7, 8 handle swings. You just have to keep an eye on the big picture and understand that we're at the bottom of the bands. So, where do we go from here? It's Friday. We have come down from 86 to 44. We've done 44 handles straight down. We're more than 40 handles below the 45-day pivot. We are not quite 30 handles below the 200-day exponential moving average. And, we had a couple of pieces of bad data yesterday that knocked us down but didn't really knock us out. So I'm very comfortable with my long right now. And I will just basically be trading in and out of that, but I'm going to keep a core long position through the weekend. I'm looking for a retest of the 200-day up at 1372 over the course of next week. And my reasoning behind that is this. You don't end up with big moving averages like that tend to be targets and tend to get tested. If we're truly going to trade below the 200-day going forward through the end of the year, then that is an area that is going to get tested from underneath, and it's going to fail, and then we'll stay below there. I don't think that this in here is a sufficient test because this candle here, and neither one of these were reactionary. They weren't really breaks. This is a true break, and that breakdown needs to be tested. The only other thing I'll point out here on the daily, you've got, we had rainbows and unicorns. I talked about it forever, and rainbows and unicorns turn into spaghetti. And what's that? Now we got the 20 dipping below the 50 and the 100, so we've got a real mess. And that mess is, below 1400. I said it's 1370 to 1390. That might be that estimate might have been a little high. It might be more like 1360 to 1380. But time will tell. From a pivot perspective today, they're fairly spaced out. You've got the daily pivot up at 1352. We're above that now. And then you've got 3-day up at 61 and a 9-day at 76. So there's no daily and 3-day pivot zone to use as a target. I would expect if we get up to the 3-day up at 61, 62, that there's going to be a little bit of intraday resistance. But if we go back down and test that 44 and we show any kind of support whatsoever, I'm absolutely a buyer at that level. Okay, everybody have a fantastic day and a great weekend. Mike Vacchi, Princeton Trader from Mr. Topstep. Trade them well. See you Monday.